Hello and good afternoon. Glad you could join us today. We've got some interesting information which will hopefully help you avoid problems in the future. And that's all about lost iPhone tips. And we kind of subtitled that Find My and More. So we've got lots of interesting things to look at today. So this is Go for Lunch number 102, brought to you by GoFor Technology. I'm your host, Roger Harmon. If you're new here, please type new in the comments so we can greet you properly and get to know you. And of course, our goal here, as always, is to make your technology work for you. And appropriately enough, this is National Hangout Day. So we're hanging out today. So what could be better than that? So we're going to talk about Find My, and of course, in order for Find My, which is built into all your Apple devices, to work, you've got to turn it on. So we're also going to talk about how Apple is cracking down on stolen iPhones, and what to do if your iPhone is missing, as well as steps for that worst case scenario, which we hope you never experience. So, turning on Find My on your iOS device. So what you do is you go to Settings, which you can get to from your home page. And then you click on your name at the top of the settings page. And then you click down into the second section where it says Find My. And you can turn on Share Your Location at this point if you don't mind family and friends knowing where you are. And since the context here is traveling, it's always a good idea to turn on Share My Location and share that with your traveling companions and have them do the same, so that in case you get separated, then you can easily find where the other person is. So then next you tap the Find My device name, and then you turn on Find My for that device. So let's open up our iPhone here and show you exactly what that looks like. So you can see down here in the bottom row, third from the left, is the settings, the little gears. So then we go open settings and we tap on our name at the top, or tap on our name at the tap, whichever way you want it. And then you'll see here in the second section, the third one down, says Find My. We tap on that, and as you can see there at the very top, Find My phone is on. So that's what we want. And if we tap on that, then we get some other choices here. Find My phone is green, on. Find My network, which lets you locate this iPhone even when it's offline, in power reserve mode, and after power off, that's on. And then you also want to turn on last seen location, or send last location, which will automatically send the location of this phone to Apple when the battery is critically low, i.e. about ready to die. So that's how you turn it on your iPhone, your iPad, and your iPod Touch. So of course when we say iOS, we mean all three of those devices. So let's talk about Apple cracking down on stolen iPhones. Now this may seem like this should have happened a long time ago, and I would agree with that. So as of recently, no repair will be given for any reported stolen devices. So there is a database called the GSMA Device Registry, which will record all stolen iPhones and iPads and iPod Touches, I guess. If you report them as stolen, of course, that's the critical step that has to be made. Now, in my limited research, I did not see on the GSMA website how an individual could enter stolen device information. So it has to be done by your cell phone carrier or some other entity. And maybe there's a way for you to do it. I saw an article that said you could do it, but I couldn't find a place on their website to actually enter that information. So how do we turn Find My on? So on your Mac. So on your Mac, you go to the Mac operating system preferences, and you click on Apple ID. And then you click on Find My Mac. And let's take a look at how that is done. So let's get Mr. Safari working here, or Mr. Finder, I should say. There's our Finder. And we're going to pop that up here for you to see. There you go. So we're going to go up here to the Apple menu in the upper left-hand corner, go to System Preferences. There they are. Let's move them over here in the middle. And click on it again. Okay. So we're going to click on your Apple ID up here at the very top. And of course I'm already logged in, and then you're going to scroll down this list of apps, and there you see Find My. So then you're going to click on Options. Of course, it's the check mark means that it's already activated, but this would be how you would activate it if it was not check marked. So you can see Find My Mac is turned on. You would turn it on here if it wasn't on, and Find My Network, just like on the iPhone, is also turned on. So that's how you do that. So why would you want this on your Mac? Well, in case it was burglarized. So if someone stole it, and then the next time it was connected to the internet, you would get a notification. So how do you use Find My once you've got it activated on all your devices? Well, you would go to iCloud.com from any computer. So this is a nice feature that Apple has provided, this website, iCloud.com. You can go to an internet cafe, to a library, to a friend's house, any computer, Windows or Mac or Linux, whatever can get to the internet, and type in iCloud.com, and then you would log in with your Apple ID. So you need to know your Apple ID. That's the email address associated with your Apple account. And you would then go to Find My iPhone. And as we'll see here in a second, iCloud.com also gives you access to all your Apple services, not just the Find My feature. So let's go to Safari. Make sure Mr. Safari is up and operational. There it is. Okay, so I went to iCloud.com in my Safari browser, or any browser, iCloud.com, and then I put in my Apple ID. Of course, I'm using my password manager, so it knows my Apple ID. I hit the little arrow or the return key, and then I choose my password, and we are logging in to iCloud.com. So, as I mentioned, you can get to all of your Apple services from here. So that would include your mail, contacts, calendar, photos, iCloud Drive, notes, reminders, pages, numbers, and Keynote. And then last, but certainly not least, here is Find My iPhone. And of course, I don't know, they should have changed this to Find My, but they haven't gotten around to that because it's not just your iPhone that you can find here. So you click on this, you get a neat little compass that twirls around a little bit, and then we can see on a map that there are actually 4 devices here. So there's one here outside in the driveway, and there's 3 in the house. There's one on top of another one, and I don't know if we can to zoom in anymore here. I don't think we can. Oh, yes, we can. So you can see, there we go. So there. So we've got 4 devices in the house, and 1, actually, that's in the garage. So they're all in the house. Now, GPS is, not accurate to the foot, and that's why we're seeing these spaced out a little bit, because most of these are, well, this one actually is a little further away. Got a little allergy problem going on today. And so if we click on one of these, there's Roger's Apple Watch, which happens to be right here on Roger's Apple wrist arm. So you click on the little I for information, and then we have 3 choices. So again, it gives a little more detailed map here. So if we just don't know where it is in the house, for example, we can click on it and it will play a sound. Let's try that. Okay, I've got it on theater mode. So it says, oh, there it goes. Okay, it's also vibrating. So now I can just hit dismiss. I'm sure you can't see that, but we'll just show you. Okay, so if it's not in the house and it's lost somewhere, we can click on lost mode. So that's a temporary mode that you can undo. But if we decided that it's gone forever, then we would erase it. So this applies to any device. You have these 3 choices. On a Mac, this says the second choice is lock, which can be unlocked, but they all have erase. So you can erase all your information, so none of your information will be exposed to the ne'er-do-well that took your device. So that's how it works. So on your iOS device, it works a little differently because there's an app called Find My. So if we go back to our iOS device here, and of course we're going to search the way we learned to do last week. Somebody told me that they were glad to have that program last week because they used it because their apps got all scrambled, which apparently is a known problem for which I have not found a known solution. So I swipe down from the center, and you see Find My is right there because I searched for it before, but I'll go through the motions. I'm going to type in F, and there you go. It's the first choice there in the top left. Tap on that, and so it found my watch. Let's see if we can make it find something else here. There we go. There's a Mac Mini down below the watch, so let's click on that. There's the Mac Mini, 2018 Mac Mini, and it gives me directions of how to get there. It's 150 feet away. In fact, it's like 150 millimeters away. And so if we tap on it, actually here we scroll down, I'm sorry. So you can see we can mark it as lost, and we can erase the device. You see down there in red at the very bottom. So it works a little differently than on the Mac, but pretty much the same idea. So I already logged in with my Apple ID there, and we saw that it displays on the map, showing your devices. So again, you can mark it as lost or lock it, depending on whether you're on an iPhone or a Mac, and undo that if you need to. Of course, if it is lost and you don't know where you lost it, you should report it to the police. And they like to have serial numbers so they can identify it. If it's found, they know it's yours. And also, you should have on record the IMEI number. And both of those numbers on your iOS device you find by going to Settings, General, About, and then they'll be listed down there. So have those again written down in some place other than your phone or your iPad, where you can get to them if you need them and you don't have your phone or your iPad. So you need to report it to your cellular company if it's lost. And if you do find it on the map, you should not recover it by yourself. So unfortunately, I had an experience. Well, actually, I had two experiences. One in Mexico where I did recover it with the aid of two nice Mexican policemen, one wearing an AK-47 over his shoulder. And I've told that story before. So that was a good circumstance. However, I had another circumstance in Tucson where a MacBook Pro was stolen. We tracked it down with Find My, and it was in a townhouse development. We couldn't tell for sure which townhouse. It was one of two that showed up on the map. We called the Tucson Police Department, who refused to help us at all. So we kind of hung around outside the wall of this complex, and this interesting fellow came out and talked to us, and he didn't give us back the MacBook. But my client, whose MacBook was stolen, was threatened later, a week or so later, by somebody driving by and threatening to harm her dogs. So a reason, don't try to recover it yourself unless you have a warrant and a SWAT team. If you have those two things, then it's okay. So you want to try all the steps to recover your missing device before you do the final step, which is to erase it, because erasing can't easily be undone. So the way you do that is you open your Find My app, you choose the Devices tab, you select the device you want to remotely erase, and you scroll down and choose Erase this device. We saw it on the bottom there in red, Erase the device. Okay, so that's how you would do it as last resort. So let's prevent you from losing your device. What do you say? So my suggestion is to have an attached case. Oh, I see. We didn't show you the last keynote slide, did we? Well, let's just do that. So we're going to go backwards here. And okay. So let's get back here. So if it's lost, you want to report it to your cellular company. Don't try to recover it yourself unless you have a warrant and a SWAT team. And make sure that you do everything you can before you do the ultimate erase, which you do in the Find My app. Choose the Devices tab, select the device you want to remotely erase, scroll down, choose Erase this device, and select Erase the device. And again, we saw that on the iPhone in the bottom. Okay, attached cases. So here's some examples of some attached cases. Now, I would not recommend the one that is the pouch here. So a couple of these are kind of wallet type cases. Get these other types that actually secure the iPhone to a lanyard that you put around your neck. So, for example, I just happen to have one right here. This one is made out of leather, and as you can see, it's got loops of leather on all four corners. Then this particular one has a place for a credit card or two on the back, and you would put this in upside down, right? So when you put it around your neck, I'm just going to pretend here that it's around my neck, and when you bring it up, it is right side up. So then you keep it around your neck, and you can't accidentally leave it somewhere because it's hanging around your neck. So all you have to do is go to Amazon and search for neck strap phone holder, and you will get a variety of choices. Of course, as always, you should read the 1-star reviews and make sure people are not having problems with those. So get an attached case, and you will much be less likely to lose your phone or something like that. So again, we're kind of talking about traveling here. So I thought I would share some traveling tips, because some of us are, traveling more than we used to. So let's see if we have any travelers with us here. I don't see the travelers with us today. I thought Leslie Ann might be here today, who is traveling, I think, still. And she wrote me that she wished that I would have done this before she left. But actually, I told her all this stuff before she left, as I have told all of you what to do before you travel when that topic arrives. Okay, so use Wi-Fi whenever you can to cut down on your cellular usage, which costs money. Download apps that cache meaning that they can be stored in the memory of your device. So when you're buying a new iPhone, you might think about this if you're planning on traveling, that maybe you need to get the next bump up of memory so that you have room to download things on your iPhone to use when you do not have internet. And turn off your roaming. Again, this uses up your data because it's always checking, and it all might get you into another cellular system that is very expensive. Of course, you want to get a foreign power adapter and a battery, a battery pack that you can use, and some way to charge all your devices. So you can charge your iPhone, your iPad, your Apple Watch, your headphones, whatever you have, simultaneously at night, so you can use them all during the day. You can also download Skype, which will allow you to make computer to computer or iPhone to iPhone calls for free. And you can also get a local SIM card put into your phone, which will be cheaper many times than using the foreign cellular service provided by your cellular carrier. And you also should turn off fetch new data. Again, it uses your data plan. There are city guides that you can download that will store again in your iPhone, so you can access maps and points of interest without being on the internet. You want to figure out what you might want to have downloaded again in the phone's memory to help you pass the time. Netflix allows you to download movies, some movies, as of course you can with iTunes and other services. So for those long plane rides, you can have things to do. And of course, you want to sync and back up your devices before your trip. And we will talk more about that in a minute. So again, a reminder, you want to have your Apple ID and your password available outside of your devices, someplace where you can find it, but maybe somebody else can't, along with your iOS serial numbers for all your devices and that IMEI number that the cellular companies seem to prefer over your serial number. So that brings us to the questions. So if you haven't already put a question in there, please feel free to put a question or comment right now. And please share the GoFor Gazette with people you know that have Apple devices so we can help more people. Also, in the last GoFor Gazette, I gave you information on a free TV antenna. Well, guess what? This just came in the mail, and I mean like a half an hour ago. Where's the label? There we go. And it came from, let's do this way. It came from Chandler, Arizona, and Channel Master is a very well-known antenna company. They've been around for decades. I didn't realize they were in Chandler. So we're going to do an unboxing. Something we don't always do here on Go for Lunch, but let's see what this is all about. So the reason that I brought this to your attention is that you might be considering becoming a cord cutter. Now, this was not rehearsed, obviously. Okay, so we're going to reach in here and bring out the antenna. So this antenna, as you can see, is flat. It comes with some 3M, well, let's see, let's go to this camera. It comes with 3M adhesive mounts. You connect the cable right here, and you put this up on your wall. Here's the cable that goes to your television set right there. And so you would put this up as high as possible on your wall near your TV. Of course, you can get an extension for this if you needed to. This looks to be, imagine, like about, I don't know, 8 or 10 foot cable here. And the reason that you would want to do this would be to find out if an indoor antenna, I'm trying to see if it tells us the length of the cable, but it doesn't. So you're try to find out if the indoor antenna will receive all the channels that you want to receive. And if that is the case, then you could cut down your cable bill and you could save money. So with the indoor antenna, you can get all your local channels. So that would be in Tucson, it would be Channel 4, NBC, Channel 9, ABC, Channel 13, CBS, Channel 6, PBS, Channel, I don't remember what the CW is, Fox is Channel 11. So you could get local news and weather and all the network programming. Of course, you would have to watch it at the time it airs unless you get a DVR, which are available, that you could record things like you do now maybe. So those devices are available where you can record off the air. So that is why you might want to get an antenna. So then if you find out that placing it in your house doesn't get you the channels that you want, then you can also get a rooftop antenna. It goes up there on the roof, which unless you're way far north in the foothills close to the Catalina Mountains, that would probably work. And actually I've had some clients up north of right around Sunrise, and they were able to use a rooftop antenna because some of the stations, excuse me, have translators which are they repeat the television signal from different locations. So some of the stations are up on Mount Bigelow, up on Mount Lemmon, and so they have translators down in the valley. So if you are in the shadow of the mountain, which means if you're in the foothills, the signal is going over you because the mountains are in the way, then you can get the signal anyway. So you would get your network stations off the antenna, and then you could subscribe to any of the numerous streaming services like Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Hulu, YouTube TV, to get the other content that you like. And hopefully you would save money if you don't go overboard on the streaming services compared to what you're paying now to your cable company. Now, you would still have to, so they call this cord cutting, but you still need internet to get those streaming services. So unless you do like I did and go to T-Mobile, and you can also do that with Verizon now, and get your internet from the T-Mobile or the Verizon cellular network, you still need internet from your cable company. So it's not completely cord cutting. You still need internet from some source. So a little reminder, we're collaborating with the Tucson Macintosh User Group, which meets every third Tuesday. And guess what? Today is the third Tuesday. So it's going to be meeting tonight. And as I alluded to earlier, Moi is doing a presentation on how to back up your iPhone both with the Apple way and with an iMazing way. So you may want to tune in for that. It's at 7 o'clock. The link for the Zoom meeting was included in the GoFor Gazette. So you can refer to that to get the Zoom link. And then we also have an Ask Me Anything question time where we have experts to answer your questions. That starts at 6. Again, the general meeting is at 7. So I would encourage you to tune in at least at 7 to hear about how to back up your iPhone. And that is something that you should be doing before you ever leave the house, especially if you are traveling. So let's see. Oh, Leslie Ann is here. Okay, good for you. And David's here. And Carolyn's here. So my two travelers are here. And Carolyn has a story of woe here. Her iPhone was stolen while she was in France, and she had her laptop in her hotel, and so she could lock out her iPhone. She found the location of her iPhone, but the policia, or however, the gendarmes, I guess they call it, gendarme, were not interested in helping her. And unfortunately, that seems to be the case. I think the larger the city you're in, the less they are interested. It's a low priority for the police. Leslie Ann lets us know that city guards are excellent. Thank you, Susan. I'm sorry. I had to clear my throat. I turned off my mic. And if you didn't get your question answered, please put it in again. Thanks, Kurt. Yes, you should. Okay, so Susan, you should learn to lip read, especially when you're watching my videos and I forget to unmute myself. So if you have any questions about something you think I said but you couldn't hear me, pipe up in the comments and I will repeat it. But hopefully the comments that I put up on the screen while I was muted will be self-explanatory. So I'm going to hang out here for a few seconds to see if you have any clarifications you need. So, and of course, you can always contact me anytime with my email address and my phone number, which are coming up next. So have a great day. Hope to see you tonight on the TMUG Zoom meeting, and have a good rest of your week. Wow.